A portion of this video is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. For more information about Sheath, visit the link in the description below or wait till the end of this video to hear more about them from me.
Well, we all know that he doesn't sleep. You know, I'm not a big sleeper either. So, you know, on occasion, I close my eyes if someone's talking for too long, I admit it.
Donald Trump's deteriorating health situation is of serious concern to Republicans. For Republicans, both the House and the Senate and just Republican insiders in general. And the reason I know is because of all of the noise they're making, trying to justify his sleeping in meetings for minutes and minutes at a time, either explaining it away or trying to justify it, or acting as though it's not happening. And you know, the more aggressively they kick against reality means there is something going on. There is a swirling tempest inside the Republican Party of concern about exactly what is taking place. Because without Donald Trump, is there really even a Republican Party? Yesterday, Senator from Kansas, Roger Marshall, went on Newsmax to tip this entire thing off. And I've got several clips here of just from yesterday and then one from last week. But just from yesterday of the Republican Party, the machinery, the propaganda machine, standing up an operation to try to justify Donald Trump's clear cognition problem, but also the physicality issue of him just being unable to stay awake after having called Joe Biden Sleepy Joe for years. Here we are with sleepy Donald Trump, and the Republican Party just doesn't know which way to turn. Here is Roger Marshall on Newsmax.
Get your reaction to this. The president's recent reveal that he received a cardiac MRI during his checkup at Walter Reed. Now, the legacy media, immediately jumped to question his health. I'm an older guy. My doctor ordered me to get an MRI, a cardiac MRI. I still haven't done it yet, so I need to get on that. But it's standard practice. To me, they ignored Joe Biden for years, and now they are just grasping at straws. Can you kind of shed some light on this? This is really normal, isn't it, for older guys?
I think it's a normal executive level type of checkup. If you went to the best wellness centers in the country, they're going to order that on people probably over the age of 65. And by the way, we all have some atherosclerosis already starting to build up, some aging process, just like you would see arthritis in the joints. But I can tell you, my interactions with the president, I'm a pretty hard worker. I'll work 100, 110 hours a week. He outworks me. He's the first person I've ever known that works harder than I do. He runs around that golf course. He goes through staff members, several groups of them each day. He's in incredible shape right now, and you talk about sharp. He's playing 4-dimensional chess right now, with time being that fourth dimension. He's in great shape.
I've always joked, Senator, that President Trump's the only person I know that's more likely to call you at 2 o'clock in the morning than he is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's Kansas Senator Roger Marshall.
No doubt. We're on Trump time now.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What is with these just weird liars? Roger Marshall this is an aside, but Roger Marshall would have you believe that he works 110 hours per week. And Donald Trump works even more. I'm a pretty hard worker, he says. I'll work 110 hours a week. He outworks me. Roger Marshall, f*** off. You don't work 110 hours a week. You're a United States senator who doesn't work weekends, for one. Secondly, if you were to work, let's just take it on the face of it, you weird liar, and say you did work 110 hours a week. On a 5-day work week, we know you don't work on the weekends. That would mean you're working 22 hours a day. 16 and a third hours a day if it was a 6-day work week. And if it was a 7-day work week, I did the math, by the way, because I am terrible at math. 15 and 3/4 hours, 7-day work week. But we know you work 5 days, so you're saying you work 22 hours a day, and Donald Trump works more than you. He's the first person I've ever known that works harder than I do. He runs around that golf course. he carts around the golf course, sir. He goes through staff members, several groups of them a day. He's in incredible shape right now. And you talk about sharp. He's playing four-dimensional chess right now. The more bold the lie and the tale, that's where the rub is. That's how you know just how concerned they are. When they are unconcerned with looking like fools in their desperate attempt to justify Donald Trump, it tells you everything you need to know. Laura Ingraham did the same thing. Roger Marshall, I believe, is a physician, by the way, as scary as that is. Laura Ingraham on her show had the Mark Siegel or whatever his name is. He just wrote a book about how wonderful Trump is. He's a physician also. She had him on to talk about it. And again, they just papered over all of the problems that we see, those of us who view the world through a reality lens, and they do not.
Well, we all know that he doesn't sleep. I'm not a big sleeper either. So, on occasion, I close my eyes if someone's talking for too long, I admit it. But big deal. I mean, the results speak for themselves. What President Trump does on a daily basis. If you sleep 3 hours or 4 hours a night, you're probably going to close your eyes, whether you're 79 or 49. I don't think that matters.
Yeah, President Trump, Thomas Edison believed in the 10-minute nap, by the way. What would they say? We wouldn't have electricity, right?
Oh, my goodness. Well, Dr. Siegel, we will continue to see them fixate on this after everything they did to cover for Joe.
All right. Aside from the electricity idiocy, we wouldn't have electricity if not for Thomas. Do you think Thomas Edison invented electricity? You think he invented electricity? Donald Trump's not just closing his eyes for a short period, just like a couple of seconds. It's not like a long blink, Laura Ingraham, and you know that. I've got a clip I'm going to play in a later topic where Marco Rubio is talking to Donald Trump, gesturing to Donald Trump. That's a minute and a half long almost, and Donald Trump is asleep the entire time. It's not a micro nap of 5 seconds. It's not a long blink. Come on. Well, you will not be surprised to learn that Jesse Waters, the pencil-necked, sausage-armed alpha man, he also has some things to say about Donald Trump sleeping. And it's not reality-based. It is not rational. It is not reasonable. It is not dealing with reality on reality's terms, as you would expect with ass kiss. We'll keep it PG. I'm getting too many emails about, all right, keep it together with all the crassness. So, I'll try. Here's Jesse Waters, the man who still has not taken me up on my challenge to he and Stephen Miller to have me box both of them at the same time in a charity boxing match. No surprise there. Here's Jesse Waters.
Biden called a lid by one every day. Trump's working 12-hour shifts. The Oval Office logs show that he clocked in 50-hour work weeks last month. It's more than Greg. And he still had time to post 160 times last night. How does he sleep? The sweet sounds of pile drivers are driving Melania crazy.
How does he sleep? I think we know how he sleeps, comfortably and well during meetings in the middle of the day. We know how he sleeps. And then there's this, I will remind you, this is from last week, where the Fox anchor not only talks about Donald Trump being a machine, but also that he never sleeps.
The New York Times claiming that he's slowed down and he's showing signs of fatigue. Americans see Mr. Trump less than they used to. He has fewer public events on his schedule and is traveling domestically much less than he did by this point during his first year in office, although he is taking more foreign trips. He also keeps a shorter public schedule than he used to. Most of his public appearances fall between noon and 5 p.m. on average. Well, the man is almost 80, but he's also a machine. I mean, he barely sleeps, he works around the clock, and he constantly talks to the press. And meanwhile, Biden always slept, worked sometimes, and never talked to the press unless they're asking him about ice cream flavors. But some people are still living an opposite world when it comes to these two presidents.
President Biden was active on the weekends, especially riding his bike in Rehoboth Beach. No one denied that with President Biden, that he had his moments of being 80 or 82, whatever it was. In this case, the White House is not willing to even acknowledge that the president is showing obvious signs of age-related decline. One, you might take trips overseas in Air Force One. That doesn't substitute for the lack of physical activity. There's a reason to be worried based on his public performance.
Well, Biden also fell off that stationary bike. So here to discuss it is Clay Travis, Outkick founder and Fox News contributor.
And as I talked about yesterday, as I demonstrated just the other day with images and video of Donald Trump with his droopy stroke mouth and falling asleep while people are talking to him in meetings, including Dr. Oz, we know this is not the case. So Republicans, they are, I would say, up in arms, but they are alarmed within themselves in private meetings. To be sure, they're talking about contingency plans. What happens when Jesse Dollemore is right and Donald Trump drops dead within the next year? I mean, he's already dropping dead momentarily during meetings. It's only a matter of time until we wake up to breaking news headlines all over the world that Donald Trump is no longer with us. And they need a plan for that. Who's it going to be? I mean, obviously, through continuity, through the 25th Amendment, it will be J.D. Vance. But what are they going to do going forward into the future relative to their party? Because Donald Trump is, as I've said, he is the party. He is the Republican Party. The base is going to lose interest without a Trump. They're going to lose interest without the guy who's tweeting on his Truth Social platform hundreds of times in the middle of the night like a deranged lunatic. The drama will be over. The NASCARization of the Republican Party will be complete, and they won't have a leader. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below the video. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Thanks for your engagement with my content. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go like and follow the Facebook page, Dollemore Daily on Facebook. And I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another. It is absolutely difficult to keep a cool head in this political climate, especially with the added aggravation of these overheated outdoor temperatures. How can you be expected to conduct any clear-headed discourse with your drawers in a sweaty soup? My go-to for keeping things cool, sheath underwear. I'm wearing a pair right now, and let me tell you, it's like nighttime in the desert down there all day long. Head to sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore to score 20% off and upgrade yourself to the most comfortable underwear that you'll ever wear. How do they differ from your average boxers? Well, let me tell you. Invented by a U.S. Army veteran while serving a tour in Iraq, Sheath's boxer fabric is designed with a moisture-wicking technology. Their underwear features a unique dual pouch system that keeps all your man parts comfortably separated instead of sticking together. We all know the feeling of the old eggs getting stuck to the pan, if you know what I mean. My favorites are the airflow meshes, which seem especially equipped to handle my thighs, bigger thighs. But Sheath has also tons of other fabric options and designs that you can get into. And I'm clearly not the only one singing the praises out there. Sheath are recommended by multiple doctors and urologists and have over 20,000 five-star reviews. Also, Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders. So while you're upgrading your undies, you can be making the world a more upstanding place too. It's tough to focus on draining the swamp when you are swampy mess yourself. Sheath's boxers will help you keep the temperature down by bringing up the level of comfortability. Score 20% off right now at sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore.